Welcome everyone to CW Live. I'm Natasha Nicholson, Executive Editor of IABC's magazine Communication World, and I'm happy to welcome you to our video chat. Today I'll be talking with Michelle Lange, a video marketing strategist and producer who coaches entrepreneurs and companies on how to use video to tell their stories. Michelle will be presenting at the 2013 IABC World Conference. Her session, The 4 Keys to Influential Employee Communication Videos, will explore how to create highly effective videos that build employee awareness, improve employee attitudes, and compel employees to take action. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you. Great to be here.
So in your session, you'll teach communicators how to ensure their employee videos are powerful and influential. What's the first step in doing this?
I think the first step is to really start with the end in mind, to ask yourself, what is the goal of this specific video? Because each time you make a video, there's going to be a different goal in mind. So are you trying to get the employees to take action on a certain matter, such as to finally get their performance reviews handed in? Are you trying to increase awareness of a new movement or a new initiative in the company? Are you trying to inspire a change in behavior? For example, with sexual harassment, maybe there's been an issue and you need to inspire a change. So you really want to think about what the end goal is and then reverse engineer from there in terms of your content.
And so are there specific kinds of organizations that should use video to communicate internally?
I would say that all organizations can definitely benefit, and if you can't afford a professional quality video, there's always grassroots ways that you can do it-yourself videos and actually have them look decent. They may not have the full power and the punch of a professional quality video, but they can be influential if they're crafted, filmed, and edited in an effective way.
And what's the success rate of employee output after a well-produced video is implemented? Do you have some thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the company. I know that Zappos uses a lot of video both internally and externally, and internally I think they're one of the most I think in terms of employee engagement, they're kind of off the charts and people really loving working there and being involved. And from the very get-go in the application process, it's required that employees submit a video about them. And I think they've always carried that, human interest in who is the employee as a person, not just as an employee, throughout how they approach the internal environment. And then also their sales, they started using video, I believe it was back in 2009, and they now have 11 employees making 400 videos a day total. So, and they really make it a point to have the actual employee demonstrating the shoes, not a model. And in the 3 or so years that they've been using video, their sales increases have ranged anywhere from 8 to 30%. So it can be just highly effective overall.
That's impressive. So not everyone is a natural on the camera, and how can someone who's unfamiliar or nervous with the camera appear physically and verbally poised and inviting?
I think one key is to really practice, to get used to the camera. It's no longer scary once you get used to using it. It can be like riding a bike. First time you get on, it's hard. The more you do it, it's more comfortable. So really, even if you're going to have a professional video shoot and you have a script or you have your talking points, to be able to get with a friend and practice. Practice with your iPhone, practice with your flip cam. Go back and watch your replays. One thing that a lot of professionals do is they'll come on the camera and they'll be very serious. And when we're watching it, a very serious energy can pull the energy down. So you really want to watch your expressions and find out what works, what looks engaged versus what looks kind of subdued, and really get your energy level right for where it needs to be. Another thing, so playback is very helpful. Practice is helpful. I think having a friend on the other end of the camera, so that if you're talking into the camera, you really put them there as your audience, so it feels more like a conversation you're having with somebody. And also doing, I call it a question-answer format. So if you have something specific you want to say on camera, writing out some interview questions in advance, having somebody on the other side of the camera ask you those questions, and then in the edit, you edit those questions out. It encourages conversation and for you to be more natural.
And so do you have any tips for how to encourage an organic flow? And what's a way we can avoid the boring talking head video, the dreaded boring talking head?
Sure. Well, the flow definitely is to know your talking points, and a lot of times, unless you're using a teleprompter, I think it's better when people aren't over-scripted, when they have a general sense of what they're going to say, and then they let the words flow naturally in the moment. Scripting can really put you in a tough situation when you don't have a teleprompter, where instead of just being present on camera, you start reaching for those perfect words you wrote the day before. So it's really important to be able to be in the moment, be engaged, and by the time the camera starts rolling, you know your talking points, so you can start focusing on how you're being on camera instead of what you're saying on camera. Keeping your energy level up, staying present, keeping the eye contact going. As far as the talking head goes, I think one of the keys to avoiding the talking head dynamic is how you do the edit. So there have been marketing studies shown that people tend to stay more engaged when there are cutaways from the actual speaker to other images, whether it's photos, graphics, B-roll, or even what we've done before on certain marketing videos is have titles scroll in next to the speaker, under the speaker. Just that little shift visually has been shown to keep an audience more engaged if there's a new focal point every 20 to 30 seconds. So that can add things, photos, really weaving in a variety of shots, not just the talker.
Well, Michelle, I want to thank you so much for joining us for this episode of CW Live and hanging out with me on this video chat.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure being here.
And to our viewers, be sure to check out Michelle's session at this year's World Conference in New York coming up soon in a few days. And as always, we welcome your feedback, and if you have thoughts to share, send an email to cwmagazine@iabc.com, and thanks for watching.
Thanks.